Hiya, welcome back to the workshop. William, as in William Kenny, who you must know, but if you don't, look in the description, I'll link his channel. He's been doing some metal work. He's been making some round bar skews. And I've got an 8mm and a 16mm. Check that. Yep, 8mm and a 16mm. And he's in Southern Ireland, so postage from there is expensive. So he took them up to Brian, and Brian posted them to me. So thank you guys, much appreciated. He also sent me a third one, another 8mm, because I'll be seeing Terry in a few weeks' time face to face, so I can hand it over. So rather than send a separate envelope, I will deliver it. Now you notice they don't have handles. And I thought, Terry can make a handle. Then I thought, no, I'll be kind. I'll make him a handle. But he's not going to get one of my steam pair handles. He's just going to get a piece of ash. Because he's Terry. Let's come a bit closer than that. So I'm starting off with a spindle roughing gauge. Just knocking the corners off. So the corners are off. The tool rest is too low. It didn't really bother me that much. Now, the skew handle doesn't want to be particularly long. 8 inches, 9 inches is plenty enough. You mostly hold it on the blade anyway. So I'm only going to be using about that much. But let's make a bit to put in a chuck. I've got one of William's skews as delivered in one of my existing handles with the adapter on the end so I can change tools. Available from Mark Beckett, Woodturners.uk. I will link that in the chat as well, in the comments. So, tidy up this end. And put a tenner on. And then we'll start thinking about size. So I'm going to want it about 8 inches. And I want it a little bit thinner than that, but quite a lot actually. What I'll do is I'll just grab another measurement from an existing gouge. 35 at the widest. So let's figure out what we've got. So all those shavings to lose. Now, obviously I could do the whole thing with a spindle rough and gouge, but I rather like this continental spindle gouge. Because it'll eat away the wood, but you can also do quite a nice refined cut with it. Right, let's spin that around. I've already measured this skew. It's an 8mm, so I'm going to put an 8mm drill in. So the timber is slowed down. I like to drill it around about 400 or 500-ish, sometimes a bit faster. Depends on how it cuts, really. The hole doesn't need to be particularly deep. If you have a look at any of your tools, you'll see that they don't go that far into the wood, but we'll go a bit further than necessary. And with a bit of luck, that'll be a tight fit. Next stage, get a ferrule on here. So I can find one. So I found this nice little 3/4 inch 19mm brass ferrule, which do the job nicely. So I find the size of my ferrule, mark it on there. I naturally use the one that William made for me. Just going to sharpen that a minute. And that should be a press fit. We're going to make sure we get these things the right way around. There's a slight chamfer. Here, which guides it in. I'm using my tailstock as a press. And that is nicely fitted on there. No glue, just pressed on. If you get it slightly wrong, glue doesn't hurt, but if you don't use glue, you could in theory leave that off and use it again. Remember what I was doing. First of all, I was looking for the life centre. Secondly, I like Robert Sorby handle shapes. So that sort of shape is what I'm looking for. So that's down to the ferrule at the front. High point is there. The low point is there. And then we take it back up towards the back. So basically just copy a design that works for you. So I'm going to go back to my continental spindle gouge because it'll do this job nicely. Tool rest is too high. So just develop a pleasing curve to there, and then come back to where you're going to end the handle. Go for a skew for this bit. I'm not going to pile it off just yet, I haven't quite finished. Damn. A suggestion of shape is what I'm looking for. So I made myself a little bit of space with V-cuts, well, only one-sided. Minor catch there, just because, you know, wasn't paying attention. And that allows me to view my shape. I just want to come a little bit. Yep, that makes me happy. And after being oversensitive for quite a while and catching every breath or bit of noise from wherever, the microphone battery died at this point. Never mind. So I sanded this with 180 grit. Don't go above 180 grit because 240 grit is slippery and this is a handle. Stick to 180 grit. And it's traditional on a handle to have burn lines in them. So I'm putting some burn lines on because why not? I should edit that and take some of that out because I was obviously saying something I've forgotten all about. Never mind. Whatever I was saying there was vitally important. And here you see, it actually popped over as the laser when you were on pause. And this side, it looks like it's got an X, but actually that's Terry Hobbit Bray. And this is Posh Terry Hackington Arts. So you can turn this tool over to decide whether it's Posh Terry or Ordinary Terry. Right, I'm just going to take this back bit down a bit. I don't want to part it off just yet. I'm just going to take it down to allow me to get in there and polish it up and get some oil on it. For some reason I picked up a spindle gouge. Actually a skew would be quite a lot easier to use in this situation because I'm right on the end of the tool rest there. I think I'll move it in a minute. Point of order, I would be using the pointy end of the skew, the toe end, to get this curve in here normally. Because it allows me to follow the preset curve and then carry it on round. And I'll be able to position my tool rest better. I don't want to pile it off just yet, so I'm going to take it down to that far. So I've got access, and I put a single coat of Danish oil on. It's protection. It soaks in it does dry to a hard finish, but it doesn't get slippy like varnish does. So I need to edit this video. God dearie me. I'll edit it with my voice on it, I think. But yeah, you don't need to be watching me opening tins, do you? Or do you? Should I leave that in there? I don't know. Now you've got me whittling away as well as opening tins. I really should just cut from showing you the tin label to applying it, really, shouldn't I? Anyhow, just wipe it on and give it a couple of minutes and just buff it just to dry it. It's got solvents in it, they evaporate, so it doesn't take long. It's actually quite a sweet little handle, quite a nice green pattern to it. In real life, and probably here, I would have paused the video and given that 3 or 4 minutes and then buffed it, which I probably did. Now it's just a bit odd here. Normally I would take this off the lathe at this point, part it off, go on a bench, and I've got a vise there, a nice big wooden vise. I'd hold the skew in that vise and just gently tap on the mallet on the end of the handle to drive it in. But I haven't got a camera over there, so what I'm going to do is put some Danish oil on the skew and press it in on the lathe. Yep, it's a daft idea, but let's give it a go anyway. I never glue these handles on, but obviously the Danish oil will dry and it will effectively be a lightweight glue. But if Terry doesn't like this handle, it'll just take a couple of taps to get it off. You can change it over. Now hopefully I'll remember to change the camera. Hooray for me, I did remember to change the camera. I've marked the shaft to the depth of the hole, so I know how far it's got to go to be fully seated. And just driving it in with a bit of plywood to protect the blade. It'll probably need sharpening again after it's done this, but it won't get damaged. And I'm just pressing in using the tailstock. And it's a nice tight fit. So that is going nowhere. Having the blade fitted, I didn't really feel like parting off in the normal way. So I'm just going to cut off with a saw. Skew handles are different to gouge handles. You mostly hold either on the blade or right on the front bulb with your fingers on the ferrule. And the handle's there for balance. So obviously the handle I make for the 16mm round bar skew will be bigger and heavier. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is a voiceover, so it's not going to lip sync. But please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because it's absolutely free and we love to have your company. Just want to go off to Terry when I see him at Chestnut's Weekender in Swindon. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers for now. Couple of pictures to end with, one for Posh Terry. And then of course, our Terry. See you folks.